Okay, first tell me, chapter number 1 was about what?
Introduction to information system.
Chapter number 2?
About business, B2B and...
No, chapter name. I want chapter name. Anybody?
Organization structure.
Yes, very good. Chapter number 3?
Hardware and software.
Chapter number 4 is software. And chapter number 5 is... What is chapter number 5?
Data.
Organizing and storing data. Now we talk about this organization, information system, talk about the software, hardware, and now organizing and storing data, which is database. Okay. So these are all components of information system. Okay, so we will discuss this every week. Every component we will discuss in every week. Okay. So database, the center of almost every information system. The most common database is the relational database. The relational database is a series of related tables stored together with a minimum of duplication to achieve consistent and controlled pool of data. Okay, so what is database? If I ask you, what would be the answer? What is database, guys? Anybody explain? Do you know about the database or not? Have you heard this name?
I think the place for all collection data.
Place for collection data, yes. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts? Have you seen database ever before?
Is a server doctor considered a database?
Server? No, server is a place that holds database. Can you give me any example? Anything? So you guys did not see the database?
No.
Maybe doctor, it have many storage of employees and customer and for case.
It's not storage.
No, it have many things for information related about the company.
Related to, yes, you are somehow very right. Yes, Nasir?
Okay, Doctor, it's I think it's the main data and the program or something like this. The main data or the point of data.
It is a data, as a database. Its name is database. Data is a part of this thing. So it is a data, but what kind of data? So as earlier, before you, the guy mentioned that it's company related data like employees data. And so one company can have different type of data. Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, PeopleSoft. What kind of data in the PeopleSoft?
The student's ID, his phone number, his name, his
So
class.
student information. What else?
Courses information?
Student service.
Student
Student service.
service. What kind of services are there?
It's showing the grade, showing the GPA,
Results. Students' results.
the results,
student
yeah,
information.
students' results.
Yes, and the student schedule,
Yeah,
right? And then you have, each course has some information there. Your GPA, year-wise, semester-wise, student advising, maybe some other information also. So these are, it's a big information. So where they store this information? So these are, did you notice one thing? These are related information.
Okay, Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
What's the difference between the data and the database?
Yes, you're right. Data,
Yeah, is data the input?
the technical word here is related. If you see the third point on the slide, the relational database is a series of
tables.
related. Yes, this is the key word here, technical word here, related data. Okay, data itself is a big data, but related data. For example, in PeopleSoft, we have related data. Student courses, teachers advising, these are all related data with each other, right? In hospital, we have related data.
Yeah.
In any other organization, in Extra, we have related data with each other. Okay?
Okay, yeah, right.
So
Thank you.
it is related data, logically related data is called database. Now you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Now what is relational database? Now the term is relational, the third point, or in second point, the most common database is the relational database. So it means there are some types of databases. So, but we are more concerned here with relational database. Relation is a technical term in database language. Relation means table. So data in the form of tables. Okay, so you have many tables and they are connected with each other. They have related data. This is called relational database. Did you get this point?
Yeah, this point I got.
Okay, now everybody understand what is database and what is relational database. So there is another thing mentioned, stored together with a minimum of duplication. So it means there should be a minimum or no duplication to achieve consistent and controlled pool of data. Now, what do you mean by duplication here? I mean, if two records are same, so this is going to be a problem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Every student has its own ID.
Yeah.
It's a unique ID.
Yes.
Is there any two students having same ID?
No.
Did you notice this?
Possibly
Why?
no. Yeah.
Why?
Because they have a different. Everyone has a different information.
Yes. So now imagine if 5 students have same ID, and when you enter in PeopleSoft ID, so different records will come up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it means database is not consistent and not controlled. So when you are designing database, you have to take care about all these kinds. There are many rules and regulations. You will study in database course in detail, and we will also discuss in this lecture in more detail. So a database should be normalized. What is normalization? What are the relationships between two tables, and so on. But you need to know right now data must be consistent. There should be minimum or no duplication. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Relational database. A relational database is made up of number of tables. So as I told you, relation means table. So there are many tables, and tables have a relationship with each other. For example, student and teacher have relationship. One teacher is teaching many students, and many students are taught by many teachers. Okay? So this kind of relationship you need to figure out when you are designing your relational database. A table is made up of a number of records. So each table has some records. What are the records? Can you give me any example?
It's a
student
screenshot.
record for example GPA.
Okay, in coming slide we have example that would be more clear. But you need to know each table has records. Each record is made up of number of fields. You know the what is table? So there are some table headings and there are some data in that. So there are some technical terms. These are the fields, these are the records. Okay? Or something in loose term, each table stores the data about someone or something interest to the firm known as entity. Customer is an example. So can you give me more example about entity? It is a technical word in database course. Entity. Entity, example here is customer is an entity. Student is an entity. Teacher is an entity. Anything that have some functionality and you need to keep the record of that one, it's called entity. Okay? So entity will become a table when you are creating a database. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Doctor, can you explain the term of record?
Record, like in table you have a record. You have some data that is called record. Student ID, for example, 213334 is a record.
The number ID or
Yes, the data itself. You know, there are some headings on the top. For example, student ID, student name.
okay.
These are fields, and then you enter the record in that.
Okay.
Okay, is that clear? So now
Yes.
you need to understand what is entity. Each table stores the data about someone or something. That is called entity. For example, student table, teacher table, we have doctors table, medicine table. So these are all entities. Okay?
Okay.
So these entities will become a table. So when you are designing a database, you need to design a map for your database first, and then you will create database in MySQL or in Oracle or in something. So when you are designing your database on paper or on a software, on a sketch, so you will draw a diagram, and that diagram is called entity relationship diagram, ERD. You will learn this diagram in database course. Okay? So that diagram will convert it into table form in MySQL, in SQL, in a tool. Okay? Is that clear, guys? Are you with me?
Yes,
Doctor.
Okay. The fields are specific items of data stored about an entity. Now, as we discussed, for example, student. Student is entity. So what kind of data? Maybe the student ID, name, date of birth, address, etc. Okay? This is how you represent the whole entity. A record collects all the data about one specific entity, the customer, John Smith. Now, John Smith is a record. The name, exact ID is the record that you fill in the table. Okay, before moving this, so I want to show you here. So here you can see where is the field? Can you tell me where is the field?
Customer number.
Customer number, first name, surname, address 1, address 2. These are fields. Okay. So what is record? These values 10,
Number.
Jane, Wilson, all these values are record. So if I ask you what is entity here, what is entity here?
The customer number.
Oh, customer number is a field. The name of the table. The name of the table is customer. Okay. So entity is customer, and this table holds the record of customer. All the records of customer. Now you understand what is entity? What is entity, what is field, and what is record? These are very important things. Very basic things.
Yeah, I'm almost Doctor.
Okay. Now going back here, the keys. You know what is key in general?
In general, it's a key.
Door key.
It's a key that's open the door.
The key that open the door. If you have the key,
Yeah.
you can open the door. If you do not have key, you cannot open that door.
Right, yeah.
Right? There's a general phenomena. So each record must be unique in some way. Uniqueness is the property here. What is the property here? Uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
For example, student ID. Student ID can be, no, student name can be key.
No,
Why?
the ID, because student name is the information, but the ID, it's the data, I think.
No, both are data.
Both are data. Okay. I thought it's information. This
Why you are saying name cannot be key?
because Victor, this is if everyone has same name. You know, sometimes other guys have my
Same name. Same
Yeah.
name, yes. Two students
Yes,
can
because
have-
the name can be repeated.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
name cannot
Exactly.
be key. So student ID can be,
No, cannot be repeats.
yes, so student ID is a unique. So as I told you, what is the property for the key? Uniqueness. Okay? So if I ask you here, can you choose the key here?
Yes, the customer number.
Yes, very straightforward customer number because it is unique. No two customer has the same number. Okay. So example here, the primary key is the field that is defined to be unique for each entity. So we call it primary key. For example, student ID can be primary key, exam ID, library ID, any ID. I have never seen any ID, assigned to same ID to same to many person, right? It is a
Yeah.
unique property. So primary keys are used to join tables. Primary key and foreign key, actually, the both foreign key, primary key relationship is actually used to join two tables. For example, one table is student, one table is teacher. So we want to join them. So we will use the primary key and foreign key concepts. So we will learn these things. Okay, so there is one primary key. So using this primary key in this table, for example, customer number 10, I want to see the record of, for example, Desmond. I want to see the record of Desmond. So I will enter ID number. Which ID number? 13. I will enter the 13 and the system will show me the output of Desmond, his first name, surname, address 1, address 2. Okay, so this is the purpose of primary key, that we can uniquely identify the record that is required. Okay, now come to the next table. It says, what is primary key here? Which field would you like to take the primary key?
Order number.
And customer number.
Oh, there are two. Order number and customer number.
Customer.
No, not the customer. Just the order. Because the customer is repeated.
Yeah, it's repeated.
Oh. Okay, just forget the customer number for instance. Just focus on the, what is the name of the table?
Order number.
Order table.
Order table. Order number is a field. So it's a unique field. So order number is the primary key of this order table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now going back here, customer number is the primary key for the customer table, right? So customer and order have some relationship. One customer can order many, customer can place many order, right? And one order can be placed by one customer. So we have some relationship. So how we are going to relate these two tables? So we will use, this is called actually foreign key, customer number. In order table is considered as an foreign key because this key is coming from this table.
Oh.
Did you get this point?
Yeah.
Now these two tables have relationship. Okay, because sometimes one table cannot provide you complete information. Okay, in this table we have address, customer details. Okay, in this table we have order detail, but we also need which customer place order, right? Did you get the point, guys?
Yes.
I mean, what is the purpose of adding customer number here? Because we need customer information who placed the order. In this table, we can get the information about order, but if we will not place here customer number, we cannot get the information about the customer. Now we have a relationship. Order number 100. This is the order, survival share. This is the price, this is the color, and who placed this order? Customer number 10. So go back here, customer number 10, who's customer number 10 is Jane Wilson, and this is the address. Now you understand the relationship between two tables, and this is called primary and foreign key relationship. What we call it? Every table has primary key. Okay? Remember this. Yes?
So what I get, it's the table, the order table came from the customer table.
No, order table is separate table, but we have to
They are
join
different.
these two tables. They are different tables.
Yeah.
And we have to join these tables. We need to establish the relationship because one table cannot give you complete information. Okay, so that's why we put customer number in this table.
Yeah.
Okay, now using this customer number, we can reach the customer table. Otherwise, we cannot, then they don't have any relationship. But we need information. Good information is that which customer place order. Okay, what is the detail of the customer? We can find the detail from this table. But what is the detail of order? We can find from order table. But what is the combined information? This customer placed this order. So we have to link, we have to join these two tables. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah, clear, Doctor.
Okay, that's fine. So here you can see the duplication in foreign key. it is possible here because one customer can place many order. Okay. You can see customer number 10 place 3 orders here. Okay.
Yes.
But primary key must be unique, and every table has must have primary key. Okay. Database design is also known as data model or database schema. So, you know the model. For before creating the database, you must create the model for that. There's a diagrams. If I can show you, let me stop this one. Data model. You can see this figure, guys, on your right side. So these are the tables. You can see the tables. This is modeling, database model, the schema. Okay, the conceptual modeling that we. I mean, it is not conceptual model, but you can consider it model because there are different models. We have conceptual model, data model, physical model. Okay, so before creating a physical database on Oracle, on MySQL, on SQL, you need to design this. Because if you will not design this, it's very difficult to create a correct database physically. And each table has, they have some relationship. You can see the lines between them. So there are different type of lines. There are different notations available. We have different rules here that you need to apply. For example, here, this is a difficult thing. I have to change. Okay, you can see these symbols here, like an arrow.
Yeah.
Okay, it shows many relationship. Okay, one thing has many relationship. Okay, and 0 means sometimes optional. 1 means 1. If you can see here, these are the different notations. You can see 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, many, 1, many.
Yeah.
We have notations. So there are so many rules available. You will learn all these things in database course in detail, where you will create the models, and you will create the physical database in labs and your projects. And from now onwards, you will do these things. So it's a very important thing that you grab now. Yes?
I have a question. Should we learn this single? These singles?
Yes, this is very mandatory.
Yeah.
Without this,
without
this you cannot create the model. Okay? So there are different kind of diagrams you will learn in details. For example, if I search here ERD, data modeling. Okay. So like this. Sorry. This is ERD diagram, guys. The very first conceptual database you will design like this. The person, diploma, degree, these are entities. These boxes are entities. And you know what is entities? So these entities will become table when you are creating the physical database. Okay? And what is the relationship between them? So one person can have many diplomas, right?
Yeah.
Diploma means degree.
Yes. Yes.
And 1 degree belongs to 1 person. So this is the relation. Did you understand this? You have to check the relationship from both sides. Let's start from the person. 1 person can have many diplomas or maybe 0, right?
Yeah.
And from diploma side, 1 diploma belongs to 1 person, right? You cannot assign the same degree to 2 person. 1 diploma means 1 degree. Okay, so this is how you have to think. You have to brainstorm. You will take the requirements. You will design your database here, and after completion this, you will create the physical, database on MySQL and all other languages. Is that clear, guys? Now, so this is called actually modeling, data model, or schema, database schema. These are technical terms. So it is a list of all tables in the database along with all fields with any primary and foreign keys identified. So you will identify all these things.
Doctor,
Yes?
foreign key it's another primary key and put together.
Yes. Yes, it is foreign key. Every table has its own primary key. But foreign key is when the key is coming from other table. That become foreign.
Okay.
One approach to database has 4 stages. Identify how you can create your data model. First, you need to identify what are the entities. Student, you're making a project for college. So what are the entities? Student, teacher, admin staff. Okay, you have classes. You have maybe the furniture. Anything that is required in your database. So you need to identify the entities first. Second step, what is the relationship between entities like student and teacher? What is the relationship? One teacher can teach many students, and one student can be taught by many teachers. So it is many to many relationship. So you will study all these relationships. Identify all attributes. Now, what are the attributes? For example, student is entity. So what are the attributes? Attributes are student ID, student name, all the information of student are the attributes. Resolve all relationship, deciding how to implement it. So if there is, because sometimes you have some constraints, you cannot, apply everything because there is no requirement. If there is no requirement, so you cannot apply the rules. Or there are also some assumptions. Sometimes you cannot change the scenario of the requirement. So you have to sacrifice there. So you need to decide how you are going to resolve the relationships. Next, we have degree, the number of entities involved in relationship. For example, if there are 2 entities, 3 entities, 4 entities, 5 entities, so this count is called degree. Cardinality, the relationship, as we discussed, one student, one teacher can take many classes, and one class can be taken by one teacher or many teachers. So this is 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to many. This is called cardinality. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay, the last one here we have optionality, means option. If binary relationship is optional for an entity. Binary relationship means between 2 entities. Like student and teacher, they are two entities. Okay, this is called binary relationship. So
like one-to-one, doctor.
no, this is not one-to-one. Binary relationship means two entities in relationship. In one relationship, two entities. For example, student and teacher, this is one relationship. Two entities, this is called binary relationship. Is optional means the cardinality sometimes optional. For example, one employee can have one car or maybe zero car. Am I right? There are some employees who do not have car.
Okay.
So this is optional now. Okay.
Okay.
So here you can see the different examples here. The first one, employee and passport, it is one-to-one. For one employee, lazim one passport. And for one passport, lazim one employee at least. This is called one-to-one. Next, we have 1-to-0, I mean the optional, as I gave you the employee and car. Some employee do not have car, okay? But for the car, there must be employee. Employee and laptop, some employee do not have any laptop, or maybe some laptop do not require any employee, okay? So this is another case. So they are different cases and scenarios that you need to find out from the requirement. For example, you are going to the shopkeeper and shopkeeper is saying, I need a database. So what you would do, you would collect all the requirements from the customer or from the shopkeeper, and then you will try to find out these cases, these scenarios from the requirements, and then you will design your diagram. So there's another case, customer and order. So this can be changed. It is not hard and fast. It depends on the requirements, whether you put 0 here, whether you put many here, whether you put 1 here. What is actually required by the customer? That is more important. Customer and order, one customer can place many order or maybe 0 order. But for one order, lazim customer, at least one. Then student elective courses, some students, one student maybe do not have any elective. And for elective, there can be 0 student or there can be many student. Okay. Student tutor, one student can have relationship, can be taught by many tutor, and one tutor can teach many students. So these are different cases that you need to understand. And after taking the requirement of the customer, and then you will analyze the requirement, you will identify these cases, and then you will design your diagram. Is that clear, guys?
So, Doctor, this is the main idea of the database, right?
Yes, this is the main idea, how you are going to start working on your database.
Okay.
Okay, you have the requirements. For example, you are making a database for Messi. Okay, so sorry.
Database relational, right?
Relational database, yes,
Yeah.
Because tables. We are working with the tables and the related data.
I get the point. Yes.
Okay. So these entities will become the table actually when you are going to create the database physically. Okay. But so far we are discussing about the modeling, database model, design, map. Okay. Before physical database, you need to create the diagram. So how you are going to create the diagram is very important. If your diagram is accurate, so there is no problem in creating the database in any tool or language. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so we will continue. We need to finish more slides. DDL, Data Definition Language. collection of instructions and commands. So far we discussed about the diagram and model, right?
Right.
Did you get the idea about modeling and diagram? Guys, did you get the idea about diagram and modeling?
Diagram, it's draw in paper or
Yes, in tools, in paper, as I showed you before.
okay.
There are different tools like draw.io. There are rational rows. There is Microsoft Visio. You can draw diagrams in that tools. Okay. Even in MySQL Workbench, you can design there also in database tools. But once the diagram is ready, so next step is you need to convert that into physical database. So in physical database, you need instructions, OJIHAT, commands, right? How to create a table, how to insert data, how to run those things. So you need a tool for that. You need a management system to create and manage the database, right? So that is called DDL, data definition language. Those commands that is used to define the database, that is used to create database, that is used to create the tables, that is used to insert, the creation of tables and database. Okay, those instructions are usually, comes under the data definition language, DDL. Collection of instructions, commands used to define and describe data and relationship in specific database. Allow database creator to describe the data and relationship that are to be contained in the schema. Okay, it's simple that you will use the database creator. You will use any tool to create database table. First you need to create database. Then inside you will create the tables. Then inside you will also, define the relationship between two tables, primary key, foreign key, these kind of things. So all these things comes under DDL, data definition language. Is that clear, guys?
This after schema, doctor.
Yes, after schema, now you are creating physical database. Okay. So there's another concept, data dictionary, a detailed description of all the data used in database. So detailed description, it means it holds the information. What is the name of the table, when it is created, who created, what are the relationships. All the descriptive information of the database usually we have in data dictionary. Okay.
Yeah.
We have database output. Once you are creating the database, inserting data, and your database is ready now. So what's next? So you want to run some queries. You want to see some data in some logical data, right?
Right. Yeah.
PeopleSoft has been created. All data is available in the database. Now, what do you do with the PeopleSoft? So you can do many tasks. So you need many type of information. Sometimes you want to see your grades. Sometimes you want to see your schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you will write the query. Okay. So in PeopleSoft, usually you will just give the input. Okay. ID number this. Press enter. But behind the scene, there is a query. There is an instruction written. And that brings the data from server and shows you on your screen. Okay. So after database has been set up and loaded with data, it can produce any desired reports and documents. These are the most important things. And this is the purpose of database. Your database must produce some reports and documents. These outputs usually appear on screen, display, or hard copy printout. You can do any form, whatever you like. Another concept is management reporting system. Is a system that provides business information. The information can be in the form of report and statements. So, for example, Extra. You are working in Extra. So they have thousands of products. People are buying and purchasing on daily basis. So you want to see some report, for example, 1 year record. Which customer has done the most expensive, which customer have purchased expensive products. It's a very different kind of report you want to generate. So your system must have this reporting statement. Usually the DBMS, database management system, they have the capability of reporting. It can generate a different type of analysis. Okay, so that is called reporting system. So database must have this capability. Otherwise, there is no use of database if it cannot generate different reporting. I want to see the grades of all my students. I want to see which student drop database course. I want to see which student need advising right now. So system must provide all these different information in the form of reporting. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. DBMS, database management system. So you know what is database now?
Yeah.
You draw the model, you create the database physically, data is loaded now. But where you will place the database? Who's responsible to control the database?
Management system.
That is management system, DBMS. So all the databases will be available here in DBMS, and DBMS will, you can create, using this, you can manage your database, delete record, edit database, delete database, adding a new record. So DBMS can perform many tasks. So creating and implementing the right database system ensures the database will support both business activities and goals. DBMS is a group of programs used as an interface between database and application programs. Okay, you have application program, means the front end. Database is usually on the back end. When you are using any website, so you are interacting through interface, right? And on the back end, there is a database on the server. So this DBMS is providing the connection between front end and the back end. Is that clear, guys? This is one of the function.
Doctor?
Yes?
Could you repeat the DBMS again?
Look, DBMS as its name shows, management system. Management system for databases. So you can create databases, you can delete databases, you can add new records. So you can perform many functions for the database itself. And also it provide helps between database and application. Application is the front end, the interface of the application. So it also interact with that application and the database. And also the user, so user can interact through interface, can enter any query, DBMS will take the query and it will, search in the database and show you the result. Did you get this point, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you will work on MySQL or SQL Server, so first you need to connect with the server. You will connect with the server, then DBMS will, help you to connect with the server, and you can access your database. You can create database on the server, but connection is, lazim. First, you need to establish a connection, and then you can directly create or delete database on the server. Okay. Then when you design the front-end application, after designing the interface, you have to connect with your server. So your database and your application will be connected through DBMS. Okay.
Okay.
So you learn these things in, I think, in OOP, object-oriented programming, where you will design the interface in Java, and on backend you will design maybe MySQL or SQL Server database, and then you will connect. So this will be. I hope you will start working next semester, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Selecting a DBMS, important characteristic of databases to consider. So which DBMS you want to use? There are different companies are what we usually working with SQL, MySQL DBMS. So usually when you are selecting a DBMS nowadays, many databases are available because of the mobile, smartphones. We have different devices, and there are different operating systems are coming, and so there are different requirements for every organization. Some are you like to use the Linux on backend. Some are like to use the Apple stuff. So depending on the requirements, so whenever you are selecting DBMS, so these are the things that you need to consider. Database, what is the database size, database cost, how many users that is required, performance is required, integration, vendor, which organization or company you are choosing. So based on this, you can select any DBMS. Okay, the other two concepts here, data warehouse and data mining. You are familiar with the word warehouse. What is warehouse?
Doctor,
Yes.
database administration. We'll
Okay,
get it.
I missed the slide, I guess, yes. Okay. A data administrator. The person who's managing the database is called database administrator. Okay. And there are different level of database administrators. Some are senior. Maybe in one organization, you can have 3, 4, 5 database administrator. They have different, privileges. They have different access of the data. Some are senior, some are junior. It's something like that. So database administrator is to plan. He can design, he can create, he can operate, he can secure, he can monitor, he can maintain the databases. The DBA works with both users and programmers. So you are a database administrator. You will create and you will manage the database, but with coordination of user who will use the database and the programmers. Programmers means who will design the application, mobile application, or maybe the website, the interface designers. Is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
I think it is enough for today. So we have 8, 9 slides, so we can finish. We have some different concepts there.